Hello, everybody. This is Pete from PA Labs. And you guys all know that I'm a huge proponent of modules. And well, they just got really much cooler. I figured something out today. I'm working on the change tracking in the Wargame Studio. And this is very different than the change tracking that I did in the previous map maker program, because in the war game you have multiple images in a hex. Okay, on the other one it was an image, so you replace the one that was there and we tracked what it was, and then you could go back, but you couldn't stack images on a map. Okay, so this has to be done very differently, because obviously you can put them all in and then say okay, save. So I learned how to pass something into a module. I've always said that modules are sealed. They are what they are, and everything I've read basically backs that up, and that's what I've seen. But I figured something out today with these pointers. Pointers are just so cool. And I suppose if I came from a C++ background, it would have dawned on me a lot earlier. So in the Ultimate Map Maker, I had change tracking, and change tracking is itself a module. Okay, it is a sealed module, if you will. So in yes, here, excuse me. Uh, so we create a change tracking list. So this is going to keep track of all the changes, and the last one in is the first one to be undone, and you walk back up the list. Okay, so I create a basically, it's kind of like it's not static, but a single instance list. And then when you go to draw something, I call this new drawing event procedure. And what he does is he adds a record to the list and then returns the handle to that record. Okay, so he's going to pass back the pointer to the last record of the list. He passes it back to the function. Okay, and we'll scroll down. I have to jump over to drawing to show you this. Okay, so oops, nope, it's not there. It is still here. So when you, let's see, when you're drawing on the map and you have your event left button down, or left button down is what triggers it. He calls and creates this. He gets that pointer. So I got a pointer, a handle to the new record in the change tracking system. Now, the change tracking system has a collection. Each record has a collection of all the affected records. So all of your box images go into one transaction, that kind of thing. Okay, so, and I know somewhere in the past million videos, I showed you that in oftentimes in the game videos, I will create variables. I will create elements. Um, let's go ahead and make that a little bigger, I guess. I'll make elements of a structure, a module structure, that are not saved to the database. This is transient sort of things. You want to track the enemy zone of control at the hex detail level. So we create the variable and then encode every time something changes, we update that field. It never gets saved to a database, but it's used by the application. So I added change tracking. Okay, so now when we are drawing, and we are saving something for real. Okay, so when you put the left button down, it's a maybe, but when you lift the left button up, it's for real. Okay, so that's where you've finished drawing your box and you let up on the mouse key. Now, if you run the mouse key off the map, it all just gets wiped away and it's all ignored. So when you lift up on the mouse key, it's for real. Now, what I do is this is where I build the hex detail record and bring all of that data in. I load that transient field with the handle to the new change tracking list record. Okay. So we go through this every time when the event finishes, the box is finished drawing, it'll immediately do a save to the game, to the map. Okay, so if we jump over to now the hex detail save, which is here, and we scroll down to the save new, now I have change tracking here. After the save, I now have the ID of the saved record. I now have all the elements I need. So a module can call another module. So I call the change tracking add new tile. So we've added a new tile to the map, track it. I give it the tracking handle to the new list record for change tracking, which was instantiated and created back over here in my game designer. And then I pass it all the information it needs to know about what was added. So if I follow this link, he jumps over here to change tracking. Change tracking comes in and we add an element to the affected tiles and we create our tile. So watch this run. So this is saving a record from inside modules to a list that is outside modules. It is just in the map designer executable. So the screen code. All right, come on. Come on. I may have to speed this up. That's terribly slow. Okay, so I just love this screen. Yeah, I know it's kind of a waste of space, but it's cute. Okay, so let's go get, and just to make it interesting, not only do we want to do, let's go for foliage. So we come over here. There he goes. Look at that. He's updating my foliage record that I just put on that screen. No errors. He's tracked. Isn't that the coolest thing you've ever seen? Okay, so this list, just to reiterate, is over here in Game Designer. It's created way up here. This is the screen code for the game designer, and I just saved a record into that track changes list from within a module. I think that's just like my mind's blown. Anyhow, thank you all very much for watching. I hope it kind of blows your mind as well.